And we're live once again. This is Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey. My name is Mac here in Hamilton on the West Mountain. And we're going to monitor the Friday night ZOE Ragchew. Trying to remember what day it was. Yeah, I've had a nice relaxing day off today. So we're just going to stand by and wait for VE3LBI. That's our friend Larry on the East Mountain to pick up the net tonight. The Friday night Ragchew occurs every Friday evening at 8 p.m. on the VE3 ZOE repeater on a frequency of 443.075.
Good evening, all, and welcome to the Friday Night ZOE Ragchew on 443.075. There's a plus offset that no phone is required. My call sign is Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo, India. My first name is Larry, and I'm located on East Hamilton Mountain. It's an open net. To join the conversation, please give us your call sign and your name. Tell us about yourself. Ask any questions you'd like to add to the conversation. And before we start, we can thank Terry, VE3IQL, for the use of that repeater. Please remember, we have a repeater that has very good coverage in Ontario. There's no religion, politics, or foul language. And last but not least, please let the repeater drop in between our conversations so others can get in. And I did check-ins for Friday Night ZOE Ragchew. Oh, before I start, by the way, Mac is streaming this on VA3IMW is streaming this live on YouTube tonight again. I believe it's under ZOE Ragchew, May the 30th, 2025. Anyway, so I got check-ins for Friday Night ZOE Ragchew. Please come in.
VA3NCA.
I'm pregnancy. Quick in and out, Larry. VA3NFL. No problem, Al. Going for supper? Oh, yeah. I'm starving. Are you back to work at all, or just part-time still? I actually work 4 days this week. I'm loving it. My legs are killing me, but I'm loving it. All right, Al. Have a good one. Take care. Enjoy the weekend. I'm sure the grandkids will be over, and hopefully you don't have too much trash to cut. Oh, no, I got 2 of them over for the night tonight, so, yeah. Just give me a long one. I love it. They're happy. I'm good. Sounds good, Al. All right, thanks for checking in. Have yourself a good evening and good supper there. I'm sure we'll hear you on the other nets through the weekend sometime. 7-3 for now. All right, any other check-ins for Friday Night ZOE Ragchew? Come on in. VE3KDT. VA3VT.
VA3WPG.
V3IUK.
VA3IMW.
All right, I'm trying to catch up. Give me a second. I think I got everybody. KDT, BDT, WPG, IUK, and IMU. Or actually, IMW. Am I missing anybody? Please come in now. VE3LBI.
VA3NCA.
Oh, sorry, I got you in there, Wade. I had no problem picking you up. Got you right before Al. So, all right. Anybody else checking in? Come on in. VE3LBI. Oh, we're running up the top. You're in, Wade. VA3NCA, VE3LBI. Come on in.
V3LBI, VA3NCA. Good evening, Larry, and good evening, everybody on net. We've made it through another week here, and yeah, we got some news today from ISED as well about new exam guidance. There are a few things that were confirmed clearly rather than before, where they were just they're collected from various sources. One is they've explicitly indicated that at the time of testing, both candidate and examiner need to be within Canada, whether that's an in-person or a virtual. Speaking of virtual, they did codify that virtual is totally fine. They also clarified that it was fine. There were no territorial or provincial limitations on giving tests. The letters that talk about being in your home province. So that was always a question. And I had written to them, and Amy wrote back to me to tell me that no, you were able to go outside your province. Anyways, the point is that was clarified in the document. Rec 1, that is. And what else? So the other big one is that on the new pools, they're going to let you have a reference document, one that is published by ISED. So there's two versions of it. There's one that has the answers, and that's for studying only. And then there's one that's just a blank diagrams and formulas and stuff like that. It's about 7 pages. And you're allowed to bring that into the exam with you as long as it is the unmodified version that's published by ISED, which I guess is a big change. But yeah, so that's coming for the new basic in July 15th, and then advanced sometime next year. Back to you.
That is a major change. Be able to take basically, I guess you want to call it a cheat sheet in there.
Yeah, it amounts to about a 7-page cheat sheet. If anybody's interested in what it looks like, I did post it to the general conversation channel in the Discord. I posted both versions. They're actually pretty much the same. One is just labeled and has information about it, and the other one is just like the blank. Well, you know how the test has all of the block diagrams for transmitters and types of things like that. This gives you the diagram, but it's unlabeled in the version you're allowed to take in with you. So basically, it's a bit of a cheat sheet to just let you know, or let you prompt you to the answers. And I guess you don't have to memorize the formulas because they're listed there. And they're just like printed out without any sort of description except in the study version.
Yeah, very interesting, Wig. And then the other part is that the virtual now, that's kind of interesting too. Excuse me. I know it was kind of a controversy at first there, but it sounds like they've said, there's opportunities for people to get their license that don't have to be too close to somebody, an examiner. So it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, I think it is. It wasn't codified clearly. It was allowed during COVID times, and mostly to examiners who requested it when they got their accreditation. I had asked them about it, and so I was told I could do them. Not everybody, I guess, had. Not everybody, I guess, believed that it was a good idea. I think it's great. There are ways you can do it so that you can have reasonable expectation that people are doing, aren't playing games. Basically, you take a video tour of their location, and they have to be alone in the location, and they just sort of point the camera around the room. A few of us here have done the process with me, so it works out well, and it's the flexibility of not having to actually, travel someplace. Not everybody can, so there's that. It's nice that it's written down now. So I have some questions for them. I wrote to Amy today because they're pretty prescriptive in what they say in the document, and my process is a little different than what they actually write. And so what I want to know is, must you follow the format exactly as printed, or my process, which I actually ran by Goodwin, Dave Goodwin, VA3IMW. He's the RAC regulatory guy, and he's responsible for some of the new test questions. I had spoken to him about my remote process, and he shared with me his. So, the process has been vetted by people who are involved with the regulatory side. So I hope I don't have to modify it, but if I do, that's, I guess, why I'm calling them to find out. But here we go.
Well, the thing about it is, I guess each examiner probably has a certain way of doing it. And like, again, is there a flow chart? You have to do it this order, this way. But I can't foresee, as long as, they're following, basically the examiner is following the rules in the sense of for the exam, and the person writing is doing the same thing, then I can't see why it wouldn't be
exactly. I guess the key here, I use the official PDF copy of the exam that is generated by the ISED examiner's portal. I display it electronically though, and I have a system where, or a tool that I use where people can answer the questions by clicking the answer on the screen. The one that they outline makes you send a blank form to them to print off, and then they answer it on paper, and then they take a picture of that paper and send it back to you. None of my stuff touches paper. It's all electronic, and it's automatically scored, and then I also score it on my own as I'm watching them take the test on it's not quite Zoom, but it's the same idea as Zoom. It's called Jitsi. Anyways, I watch them answer, and as they answer questions, I score them as well, and then I hit a button, and the tool I use grades it, and I make sure that my grade matches the grade that comes out of the automated system, and then it's done. So yeah, I would maintain my process is the same as theirs, just as it involves printing paper and shuffling paper back and forth. If we're going to go virtual, we should go virtual, is my opinion. Back to you.
Well, you never know, Wade. Maybe they'll pick it up from you and decide that's a good idea. And they'll start doing it that way because it sounds like an excellent idea. Other than, like you say, having to write it on a piece of paper, take either a picture of it or show it up on the screen to score it that way. So maybe they'll pick up something from you and go like, well, he's got a great idea. We should all be doing it that way.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, some of the ideas came from what I do with the American licenses. They have a really good system set up. I think that our actual test and our actual AE system for granting licenses and call signs is better, but the program they use on the web is quite good, and it kind of does the same thing that I cobbled together from a bunch of different tools. They do it all in one, so we can learn some things and keep the good stuff and learn to improve the rest. So that's the idea. Anyhow, anybody who's listening here who wants an upgrade or knows somebody who wants to do their basic, time's running out before we switch to license class, or the license test pool. So if anybody listening knows somebody who's been studying the current one, they've got till the 15th of July to get a test on that one, because on the 15th of July, a new test comes in, and you'll have to start studying the new pool. So anybody who's interested, reach out to me, and we'll get you set up. I don't charge anybody local or anybody responsible. Use for people local to our clubs are free tests. So let me know. Yeah, so other than that, nothing else much going on. So a little bit of information today from ISED, and we'll see how this one develops. Back to you.
Great, very good, Wade. Thanks. And before I pick up Noel next, any other check-ins for Friday night ZOE Ragchew? Please come in. VA3LBI.
VA3XLJ.
VA3CP. Now I got two more. Vanya and Dave. Vanya, you're not mobile, are you?
No, I'm in a car, but I can wait.
Well, it's up to you. I can pick you up now if you wish, if you're driving.
Oh, no, don't pick me up. I'm gonna have to pull over and park it like I'm halfway to the Confederation Beach. It's just me and Martin, so we will park it and enjoy the net and the coffee.
Gotcha. Okay, we'll pick up Noel next. VE3KDT, VE3LBI. Come on in, Noel. Tell us about what's going on.
VA3LBI, VA3KDT. Turns out with all the different versions of rewrites and everything else, there is provisions for my Mother's Day and Father's Day, but not for birthdays. So I have a full house with my kids tonight, and actually it's turning into quite a crazy weekend. I have my cousin's birthday is tomorrow, so we're all kind of going there. So then there'll be probably about 10 kids under 8 running around. That'll be fun. And then, after that is we got their cousins and them coming over on Sunday for the barbecue. So yeah, they're pretty filled up on stuff. So he's just going nuts with his Minecraft, and I have a potentially runaway toddler here. So that was kind of what I was going to say. And then as Wade was talking, I started thinking of a couple questions I want to ask him, and then he answered them before I got my chance to ask. So I'm a little flustered here. Other than that, I will listen along for the duration and that, but if you don't pick me up on the 7-3 round or whatever, I probably just have my hands full. Throw it back to you.
Okay, very good. Oh, well, it sounds like you're having fun there. That's the whole enjoyment of both having kids. Mine are, I got the grandson, but the daughter and the son-in-law are a little too old to play with, so but anyways, the grandson's always got something up his sleeve. Anyway, it sounds like you're having fun. It sounds like you're going to have a great weekend. So I'll pass it back down here to Al next. We'll see how he's making out there now that he's back from up north there. VA3BT, VE3LBI. Come on in, Al.
Hey, good evening, Larry, and everyone on net here. I'm just glad to be home on Friday here. Enjoy the weekend. It's going to be a long year up there in Barrie, but what are you going to do? It is what it is. But other than that, not a whole bunch of radio through the week for me anyways. No time for that. So I do bring a handy talkie. There is one net that they do, I think, on Mondays. Mondays up in Barrie. I haven't had a chance to check in, but I might have to do that next week. We'll see how it goes. Other than that, not too much to report. Just got a lot of stuff I got to clean up around here and cut the grass and all that good stuff. You're gone for a week, you come back, and you swear the grass got up 10 inches more. But anyways, we'll hand it back over. VA3VT.
Yeah, very good, Al. Yeah, I've cut mine twice this week already. A lot of water comes off the back end there from the apartment. I was going to ask you, how's the job site with all the rain you had up that way?
You know what? Great. We actually worked through the rain. So the whole building footprint here, it's all engineered in sand, about 3 meters high. I don't even know what, 3 meters, that's over 10 feet. Anyways, so just under 10 feet, sorry, 9 foot something. But anyways, so it's engineered, and we've got 1 foot of 3/4 crusher run on top. So I mean, it's solid, and the drainage is amazing. So no water sticking around.
Apparently you. It's based on sand. You don't have to worry about the sand actually being washed away.
No, they designed it based on, so that area there is all peat and swamp and marsh and stuff. This was all designed to build a building on top of sand, basically. The whole reason why, I don't know if I sent you a picture of that crane that was dropping that weight on the ground. They call that dynamic compaction, and that's what compacts what's below. And the whole building footprint will actually drop. By the time they're done, there's 8 weeks of this. By the time they're done, the whole building footprint, they're saying, will drop anywhere from 4 to 6 inches. And then that's it. It's pretty much, you're ready to pretty much put a building on it.
Okay. I guess it's, like you say, the engineers know what they're doing, because I figured, they'd be driving piles.
You can't do piles, you can't do caissons. This is the solution. This is what they do in that situation, right?
Probably the first time you've ever tackled something like this, is it?
Yeah, well, dynamic compaction altogether, that's all new to me. And sand. There's advantages and disadvantages. Digging footings is going to suck because typically what we usually do is what we call trench and pour. You pretty much dig a trench and pour concrete because it holds up, especially clay. But in this situation, you can't. You got to dig it all up, and you got to make it safe, and then you got to form it. So every bit of the foundation gets formed.
That'll be interesting too. Yeah, again, like you say with the sand, so just basically like building a house. You set up a set of forms around and pour concrete where you put the block on. But it's kind of different.
Oh yeah, you learn something new all the time. But no, I'm loving it because I'm out of mud. I'm not playing in the mud, which I usually am. So this is great. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, you can build a castle. How's the, you still in the hotel up there, or have you found another flight place yet?
No, I'm still in the hotel. The boss have booked it for another 2 weeks. He's still trying to find a half-decent Airbnb up there. So, but I told him, I said, don't wait too long. You're going to lose that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So although the place you sent me the pictures of didn't look too bad at all.
Yeah, I'm looking myself, right? And I keep sending it to him, the Airbnbs that I've seen up there. And, I'm looking at condos or, whatever they have up there. But you got to be careful, too, what you get, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You want something clean you can stay in. You don't want some dirty places, but whatever, messed up, but you got to move into it.
Yeah, well, I'm not complaining. Like, this hotel is pretty good, actually. It's got a full kitchen. I can't complain. It's actually comfortable.
Yeah, probably a little more expensive than, like you say, another place. But okay, Al, anything else before I pass it down?
No, that's it. We'll let you move along with the net there. VA3BT will be listening along.
Alrighty, thanks for dropping in. Chris is up. VA3WPG, VE3LBI. Come on in, Chris.
Hey, good evening, everybody. VA3WPG. Well, no radio activity today. The conditions are whacked across the board. I myself have never seen the KP this high before, so that's the first for that. It was actually off the chart. We added some more onto the chart yesterday, up to 6. But anyways, well, I am just dealing with a dead rat today, so I had to go down behind the valley behind my place and dig a hole, and I guess tomorrow I'm going to have to go bury him because, well, pets die, and got the hole dug, but it looks like it's going to rain out, so I'm not going to go back down there today because it doesn't look that far down when you're looking at it from the top, but when you get down there, it's probably a good 200 feet down there, and crawling back up, it's steep, and it's right behind my apartment building, so there's a nice little water creek there down in the valley there, so I'm going to put my rat down in a nice little quiet spot down there, and other than that, nothing going on. Other than that, I will need to be talking to Wade soon about that test. I am still looking to upgrade. I have not forgot about that. And if Bill's still looking to do that antenna tomorrow, let me know. Other than that, we'll be listening along to the net for all the excitement and announcements and all the other good stuff that comes along with the Friday night. So with that, we'll throw it back for now and be listening. VA3WPG.
Did you say it was a cat? Was it your cat?
Oh, rat. R-A-T, Romeo Alpha Tango.
Oh, rat. I thought you said a cat. Oh, okay. I think it was your rat that kind of...
Yes. This will be the last one, too. Unlike normal pets, live 10, 15 years, you only get about 3 years with a rat. So, you get attached to them, and then 3 years later, the little buggers go and die on you. And you go and get another one, and they live another 3 years, and you got to do it again. So, no more rats for me.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate, but like you say, the period of time is not very long. Well, I guess, I don't maybe whether it's better to have a shorter period of time or a longer period of time, because you always get a dog is either, 10 or 12 or sometimes 15 years, and you really get attached to them by then.
You do get really attached to rats. If you had one, you get pretty attached to them. They're really, really smart. Really smart.
Someone is
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think Chuck had one or two or something. He talked about it. I'm sure it was. He had mentioned before, VA3CJZ. I'm sure he mentioned he had a rat.
If it wasn't that, we have discussed rats on the A-Reg net before, and about the rat's intelligence. That was brought up on the A-Reg before.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Chris, but like you said, that's it. You're done. maybe you'll find something else that'll live a little bit longer, right?
Might look into a hedgehog. I don't know. They're about the same lifespan. Who knows? I don't know. Rodents don't live long, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, we'll be listening along VA3WPG.
All right, thanks, Chris. Okay, Bill, before I give you a shout there, anybody else checking into the Friday night ZOE Ragchew, please come in, VA3LBI.
VA3 CJZ.
Victor Echo 3, Victor, Yankee Tango.
We got a couple more, CJZ and VYT. So up next is Bill, VE3IUK, VE3LBI. Come on in, Bill.
Yeah, good evening, Mary. Good evening to all on net. Joe was just trying to program this Ragchew radio, but the password to get into the software and the firmware passwords I have aren't correct, so I'm going to have to contact Ragchew to manually program the radio, but I wanted to be able to use the software that comes with it, so we'll be contacting them. I think a couple others had the same issue. And Chris, yeah, weather permitting tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon. I don't want, probably won't get up too early in the morning, so sometime early afternoon, if that's going to be okay with Chris.
Works for me.
Okay, all right, I'll contact you maybe around 11 or so.
I'll be listening.
Okay, that's it from here for now, Larry. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, okay, Bill. You're what is it? You're trying to get into the software to be able to access the radio through a computer? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I downloaded the software. It's password protected. The archive, to archive the software is password protected. The one that Kel sent me does not work, so I'm going to have to get a hold of Ragchew.
I wonder why they would password protected if it's an open site to get it. That's kind of strange.
Yeah, they password protect. It's strange because they password protect the software and also the firmware upgrade is password protected as well.
So have you had the opportunity to actually manually program the radio and try it?
Not yet. I was reading through the manual today, so we'll give that a try for now. We'll do a manual for now, but I'd like the ability to be able to program it the other way.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being hands-on, but it's nice to be able to put it through a program. Now, didn't Steve have a problem with his where it wouldn't even key up or something? Have you tried that at all?
Oh, no, the radio works fine. There's no problem with the radio. I've been listening to different frequencies on that. I think what Steve did was he tried to use the Chirp software, and this particular model Ragchew does not work with Chirp, and I think that might have messed up his radio.
Oh, okay, yeah, some things you're not supposed to use that stuff on, so. And I take it tomorrow afternoon you're going to work on your antenna at the house.
Yeah, that's the Rogers. Something wonky happened over the winter. I can't get the SWR down, and so I'm going to get Chris to come over so I can have one outside, one inside. We'll see if we can get it worked out. Because I haven't been able to do too much activating lately because of bad conditions and the weather. So I at least want to be able to do a bit from home. So yeah, he's going to come over and give me a hand. Pierre was supposed to come over, but I haven't heard from him in a couple weeks. So I'm going to appreciate Chris come over and give me a hand.
Oh, okay, very good. Well, at least you get that so you can get it straightened out, or at least find out what's going on with it. So, okay, anything else before I pass it down, Bill?
No, if I think of anything else, the second time around, just looking forward to the 21st. Obviously, hopefully that'll be a good day for us.
All right, very good. Thanks, Bill, for joining in. Mac, VA3MW, VE3LBI. So, how was your long weekend so far?
Good evening, Larry, and everybody else on net. VA3IMW for 80. Yes, happy Friday. I feel like Al, cutting grass and drinking beer, so that's it's not a bad feeling whatsoever. And Yeah, I guess I'm just like him. I worked 4 days this week, so more similar than not. Anyways, yeah, I put a new idler pulley on my riding tractor and got the front and side side yards mowed, and then went back at it with the edge trimmer and cleaned up things to make it look halfway presentable. Um, I'm sure that some additional care is going to be required in the backyard. Things are growing like wildfire. Anyways, yeah, I keep trying to remind myself that it is, in fact, Friday, not Saturday, because it just felt like Saturday. Went out and ran a few errands, picked up some parts, got to do a little bit of maintenance on the truck. So we'll see how that goes over the weekend. Anyways, yeah, the 21st is coming up, hot and heavy. Well, we got 3 weeks, I guess, and we'll be out there poking away at our group activation. Thanks for the sharing the information there, Wade, about the upgrades to the licensing tests. Kind of sounds like a little bit of a bummer. We had to remember our formulas, and now you can bring something in that helps you work through that. So, anyways, I guess it's more in line with today's technology. Now, all of a sudden, you really don't need to have these formulas at your fingertips. You have all kinds of online and electronic methods of verifying the science behind those calculations. Anyways, you've got a few more in line, and I'll let you go ahead and say hello to them. I think we've got Vanya and Dave. So thanks for doing this one, Larry. Certainly appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Mac. Yeah, we got Vanya, Dave, Chuck, and Ed in there. So we'll drop her down to, where am I here? Yeah, Vanya, VA3XLJ, along with Martin, having coffee, I think, someplace local. Come on in, Vanya.
VA3LBI, VA3XLJ. Good evening, Larry, and everybody on the net. So, yep, end of the week. So, it was a good week. It was even better day today. Nice day, and I get to manage to squeeze a bit of the fun today, so that was good. Cut the grass on the Monday, at least one half, and the other half, I guess neighbor got the contractor to cut it, so someone comes once a week and do a little side thing, and I do the big other end, and I just pick up my column for the neighbor, so to show my gratitude for whatever he's done for me last little while, so that's a good thing. Other than that, like there's not much. I kind of joined in a bit late today because I had to stop by the store to buy a few things, and I just got to the tail end where Wade was explaining new versus old exams and whatnot. So yeah, I've been dragging my feet on advance, but probably I should actually sit down and I don't know how you say this in English, like I heat up the chair and I study a little bit just to pass that, because I did try taking the test a couple of years ago, and I was either five question off or one question. So it's kind of like a hit and miss, but from my understanding, like I should be able to bring my own cheat sheet, so I think it's gonna be a lot easier this time. I mean, not this time, like next time when I actually take exam for real.
Yep, go ahead, Wade.
VA3LBI and VA3XLJ, VA3NCA. Just a quick update there. Yeah, the cheat sheet that you're allowed is the official one only from ISED, but it basically covers all the things you would probably put on your own cheat sheet. So it's a provided cheat sheet for you to bring in with you, unmodified from the one that's published by ISED. So not your own, but still pretty good. There's 7 pages, but can't be missing too much on it, on the one that they generate. And the other thing is there isn't one yet for the advanced. these things will change when the exam pools change. So the advanced exam pool is due to change sometime next year, I think, although they haven't said specifically. And at that time, they'll allow a cheat sheet. The one for basic changes with the exam pool that currently is going to change on July 15th. So another month and a half, and people will be able to use provide a cheat sheet for basic. Anyways, just a quick update there. Back to you there, Larry.
You talk about cheat sheets. I remember going to school, we couldn't use anything. The young fellow across the street was writing one of his finals, and he called me up and he says, I can't get all my information on one page, in front and back. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, we're allowed to take a cheat sheet into for our exams. I said, oh yeah, well, we went over there and we played with it, trying to get things, shrunken down, big enough, large enough so he could read it, up front and back, and ended up getting, I think, we about 2 sheets or something, or 2.5 sheets. Front and back. And I said, that's the best we're going to get. So he was late writing the exam because he was sick for a couple of weeks. Anyways, took it into the exam, and he said, I can't get this down these smaller sheets. He said, don't worry about it. He said, just use it. I'm thinking back when I went to school, there was no cheat sheets. If you're lucky you get caught and you've written something on the bottom of your shoe, you get kicked out.
I don't know what to tell you, but I think the open book thing is actually the good thing, because you know what, there's no use of having the book beside you if you don't know where is what. So it's actually just shorten up the exam time most likely, and if you know where is what's in the book, there's good chances that you will find, and in the future then you will be able to help yourself with information that you are lacking inside of your cranium, let's call it the cranium for now, and just pay the visit to the book and find what you are missing. So I don't know, I'm kind of split. It's a good thing to remember stuff, because ever since the smartphone took over, or I got one, I forgot my wife's cell phone number. So if I ever had to put a quarter in a payphone and call her cell phone, I would be in trouble.
I hear you, Vanya. I had somebody once, one of my superiors, say to me, he says, well, you don't know everything, but he says, you know where to go to find the answer. And that was one of the biggest thing, I guess, is being able to know where to find the answer. A lot of the stuff we took in school, we don't use today. I'm sure the same thing even with the advanced. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that's going to be relevant, but all the stuff that's there, you'll probably never use half of it.
From the questions which I remember taking those practice tests, it's there's 5 questions that just calculating the resonance circuits, and I know the value R should be discarded, but it's just a basic the mark there, and I keep getting stuck on it for some reason. But the funniest thing is you go to websites and even to the Google, and you type the thing in, and just spits an answer for you, like the resonance frequency of that circuit is X amount of megahertz or kilohertz or whatever it is, and it works out just fine. But it's okay. I did find some things. With my own kids going through the school and this and that, some kids, they were too easy on them, and other kids, they were like I can't say too difficult, but not explain adequately so they can move their sample forward to talk about the knowledge much more easier. Much more easier than what because if you didn't remember, you didn't know basically that was the deal. So we'll see how it's going to work out with the new generation, but hopefully it's going to be better for them. At least easier a little bit.
No, absolutely, Vanya. Yeah, no problem. Okay, anything else before I drop it down to Dave?
No, I just stay here for the duration and enjoy the net.
All right, thanks, Vanya. VA3CP, VA3LBI, come on in, Dave.
Good evening, Larry and everybody. VA3CP. Wonder how long it'll be before all the answers get provided to you. You just have to pick the right one. Right now, it's pretty much a guess which is the right one, and I don't know. finding that the more you listen, a lot of guys don't know how to make a dipole, and that should be something everybody should know.
Yeah, no, true, Dave. But like I guess the other part of that is too. Like I said before, one of my bosses said to me, he says, "You don't know everything, but he says you know where to find the answers." And some of that stuff that it's out there. I mean, I still check on some things too myself for looking up different things, but especially for antennas. So it may not be, on the tip of your tongue, but at least you know where to find the information.
Yeah, true, but the thing is you have to know that stuff is out there to be able to find it. That's what I find is lacking in a lot of cases. It's just the general knowledge of not knowing. I just turned the radio on and it works. Yeah, Anyway, I won't get on that, but I'll leave it go. VA3LBI, VA3CP.
Nope, absolutely agree with you. And as a matter of fact, that new little radio I bought, that ICOM, I had made a mention on it because I have no software to load anything through a computer on it. And I put in there and said, well, there we go. I just loaded in 23 simplex and repeater frequencies into the radio. I said, boy, it's a good way to learn how to do, find out how your radio operates. And somebody come back and said, just put them all in manually. He goes, yeah. Oh, I've never done that. He says, I wouldn't even know how. And I'm like, well, and he says, this software is the way to go. I says, well, what are you going to do if you're out someplace, who knows where, away from your computer, and you want to load a repeater in there or a simplex repeater? What are you going to do? I never got an answer.
Exactly. So you just hit the nail on the head, Larry.
Well, that's one of the reasons I like to actually program my own radios. Like I say, at least you get the feel for them, and exactly, not exactly 100%. Sometimes I go, I don't remember what that button's for. I mean, Bill's got a radio there I haven't touched for many years, for over 6 months. I looked at it and went, I can't remember how to put a frequency on that, and of course it all came back.
Yeah, but you had the knowledge to begin with. It's those who don't have the knowledge to begin with, like something's gone wrong somewhere.
I think part of that becomes right down to the interest, Dave. Right, being interested. If you're not interested, you just want to turn it on. It's like a TV. You want to turn it on and watch it. That's it. People who are interested in their equipment will find a way to be able to program it. And, to me, that's like I say, interest.
Yeah, I agree. But how many times have you heard, I just studied all the answers until I got them all right and I wrote the test? Did you learn anything? No, you're good at memory.
I think that goes for anything, whether it's school or anything else. So, but okay, anything else before I pass it down?
No, well, not really. Other than the fact that right now we got an R2 blackout. M8.1 solar flare just occurred probably 15 minutes ago. So more fun on the HF bands. Okay, over to you, Larry, VA3CP.
It always seems we got these blackouts coming. So, all right. Just before we pick up Chuck, anybody else checking into the Friday night ZOE Ragchew? My call sign, Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo with you. Come on in.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Delta Victor. Hi, Mary. Just an in and out because I'm at my destination, but I just heard you up, and I thought I'd just give you one more for the count. VA3CDV, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Cal. I like your mobile there. Thanks for joining in. All right, I'm going to pick up the next party then. VA3CJZ, VE3LBI. Come on in, Chuck.
VA3CJZ. Good evening, Larry, and all on net. Just to get back from VA3WPG was talking about his beloved pet rat. I've had literally dozens upon dozens upon dozens of rats, but I've only actually personally raised maybe a handful of them in my time. But I learned what to do and what not to do when breeding them and so on. And rats are the smartest out of the entire rodent species. And so, like Chris said, they're very smart, very social too. And as well, they're extremely clean, believe it or not. That's why, you see mice and that always washing themselves. Rats are consummate cleaners with their hygiene. So yeah, you get attached to them, and 3 to 4 years, and that's all you get. So it's like some dogs. Some dog breeds will live long, others under 10 years. So yeah, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into. Not going to talk about radio conditions because it's nothing to talk about. Other than that, just been learning my Windows 11, finding out what's clashing, and at the same time learning how to use my Elgato Stream Deck. Over to you, Larry.
So I take it you're still plugging away at it. Are you winning, or is it you haven't got frustrated?
No, I can pretty much locate what's going on and change things. Still, you get the odd curveball. I'll look and see that my volume has been muted, and it wasn't me. So you're scratching your head going, what's going on? And yeah, I'm getting there. I don't like to give up on things, so I'm plugging away.
Well, yeah, you don't have much choice. Excuse me. Now that you got to load it, so you're going to have to fight your way through it. I'm sure there's quite a few other people who are struggling along with it too. I have nothing to put it on. I have nothing that new to be able to run 11 on. I know I ran 10 for years, and I never had a problem with it. Mind you, I got to know it just, like the back of my hand, and that's all we used at work was 10.
Yeah, that's the platform I learned when I went to college, was Windows 7. So, in my opinion, Windows 95, Windows 7, and Windows 10, or was it Windows 10 that I learned on? Yeah, I think it was 10. And those three operating systems were the best out of all of the Windows the software that came out. So it's just, ever since it came out, Larry, I've been hearing about people having issues with it, and I figured, oh, okay, I tried this like 3 years ago, and I wasn't happy with it, so I reverted back to Windows 10, and so I reinstalled it now, and it's like, it even gave me a hard time because it wouldn't allow me to install it. I had to use the command prompt, change a few things in the partition, and then it was able to allow the download. So I've never come across something that wouldn't allow you to download the software. So anyways, it is what it is, and I'll just see. I'd like to get all these out of the way now so that when something happens down the road, I'll say, oh, okay, I know how to fix that. So, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing.
Well, like I say, that's something that a lot of people shy away from it, to be honest with you, Chuck, because I know we upgraded from Windows 7 to Windows 10, and the first thing I go is, I don't like it. It's all changed. Well, you're going to have to live with it, and it really hasn't all changed that much, because we made sure the desktops and all the rest of this stuff were, well, I did. So I say we, me,
to 10, I wasn't impressed, and then it grew on me, and after a while, you become an expert. So, yeah, you just have to apply yourself, and when you're stuck, figure it out. Go on YouTube, go on Google. The answers are out there, Larry, and I know how to find them.
All right, no problem. Anything else before, actually, if you get a second, when I come bring you back in, what it looks like for contests. I'm going to pick up Ed next, though.
Yeah, nothing to write home about. I think there's a PSK 31 contest. There's a Russian one, too. I think that has sideband and CW in it as well. But nothing exciting for contests this weekend. So I don't know about conditions getting good enough for POTA, but I know after Monday, it seems like we're going to get some nice weather with more sunshine that we've been having lately, because I'll tell you, the sunshine has been scarce. Anyway, Larry, thanks for doing it. I'll send it back to you to continue on.
Yep, okay, thanks, Chuck. Okay, Ed, you're up. VE3VYT, VE3LBI. Come on in, Ed.
Hello, Larry. V3LBI, V3VYT. Is this rig putting out?
What was the last part? What's that?
It's asking if this rig is making it through.
Oh, yeah, no problem. We can hear you fine. Everybody can. You're clear.
All right. Yeah, okay. Well, it's been a busy week. Busy week for equipment failures and attempts at POTA and things like that, but not too much success. The mobile antenna on my car, trusted Radio World Diamond MR77, the coax cable came out of the bottom of the antenna at the base, so there's a failure for you. So I'm off the air on my car until I get another something from somewhere. On the other hand, I did try an activation at Hidden Valley on that worldwide flora and fauna thing, and I learned the difference between trying to activate POTA and WWFF, and that difference is that it's really hard to get people's attention with WWFF. With POTA, it seems that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They come to you with whiff, as I call it. It's kind of like whiffing in the air there until you get somebody's attention. So anyhow, I did learn on a positive note that the Hidden Valley on the north side of the road is a bit like trying to activate for the winter solstice at that, what was the place called, in Stony Creek, Battle something park. Awfully noisy. There's lots of power lines everywhere and sorts and that kind of stuff. Much better in the south part of the park, on the other side of the road, where there's nobody there. However, after about an hour of working it, I think I had about 10 contacts, and in the next hour I managed to get about 4 or 5 more, and then I just called it a day. So it was interesting, to say nothing else there. The rest of the week I spent doing mundane chore type things. I've been working on repairing drywall and plaster and stuff like that at my cousin's house. Probably went through about 3 or 4 iterations of fixing the plaster and looking to see how good it was, and redoing it again until we got it smooth enough to paint in a couple of rooms, and then we moved on to priming it, and we actually got one room painted. So I'll be back at it again next week, I guess, once the Hamilton road closures are all over with. Not really interested in trying to get to Hamilton this weekend with the Skyway being closed. That's going to be another mess. That's it for me, Larry. Back to you. V3LBI, V3VYT.
Yep, okay, very good. And just a quick note, mention again, the link is not closed this weekend. The link will be open. I forget the date. It will be sometime in June. They're going to close it for, I think, the Friday until Sunday again, and I believe it's just for basically maintenance again, doing work on the basins and cleaning up anything. I'm not sure if they're going to repaint the roads or do any patching, but as far as I know, it will be a Friday until sometime, either Monday morning or late Sunday night, but that's going to happen sometime in June. And I think Ed's right, the the QEW will be closed, I believe. Niagara bound, Ed?
Yeah, they're closing 2 lanes, Niagara bound on the Skyway again, which means that there'll be 7 lanes of parking basically in front of the Maple View Mall there on the QEW heading to Niagara, so there's really no point even trying. It's going to be backed up all the way to Burloak by lunchtime. As for the link, I did hear Hamilton say that they're going to do it on June the 13th. That's their new date. That's the Saturday.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know the date for sure. I know they had plans starting on a Friday night, so I'm not sure if the 13th is a Friday or whatever, but the week maybe it's just the weekend of the 13th. Anyways, so it's going to be open this week. I don't know why. Weather seems to be okay, but I guess they don't like a little bit of rain on their hard hats when they're working.
Well, maybe they're sensitive to the noise from everybody about all the highways being closed at once. And they decided it's easier to move Hamilton's instead of moving Ontario's road repairs. Perhaps that's the ticket.
What are you trying to tell me? They listen to us?
You never know.
Right. Anything else, Ed, before we do a 7-3 round?
No, that's about it. I think that's a pretty good summary there. VA3ZYT.
Okay, thanks very much. All right, anybody got anything to throw on the table when we do a 7-3 round? Anybody? Give me a call sign.
VA3CP.
Go ahead, VA3CP.
Yeah, the link will be closed for annual link maintenance from June the 13th to the 16th. 13th is a Friday.
Unless they move it again.
Well, yeah, they could be taking on Taco.
I'm just juggling here. 3 strikes and you're out. Okay, thanks, Dave. All right, anybody else got anything else before we do a 7-3?
VA3 CRF portable. Just checking in there, Larry.
Okay, I got you, Vern. No problem. Thanks for checking in. Anything you want to add before we do a 7-3?
No, not really. Pretty nice evening, I gotta say. It's still like 20 degrees out here. I know it's gonna rain, but probably not till 11. I appreciated, who provided the summary of the changes to the testing stuff for your license? Was that Wade? I appreciated that information. Been listening along for a little while. Back to you, Larry.
Yep, that was Wade, the A3 NTA, our local examiner here. Yep, he's been keeping up tabs on that to keep us informed and himself of what's going on.
Yeah, it's definitely good to know, and I appreciate the comments about actually learning something as opposed to just studying the question bank. I mean, I did both. Honestly, I got my license in 2003, and if there's stuff that I haven't used since then, do I remember it? Probably not.
No, true, but you got the knowledge behind you, and like you say, some of it is practical too.
Yeah, there is definitely a big practical component, and even just getting over microphones right.
Well, we're fortunate enough too that we have people that will help us out when you ask questions. So, they always said there was never a dumb question unless you asked it twice and you got the same answer.
And that's one thing I appreciate. There is a great group here in Hamilton and in Burlington. If you've got questions, I think that there's a lot of folks around here that are very helpful, and I certainly appreciate that.
I definitely agree with you, sir. I definitely agree with you. Okay, let's do a 7-3 round. If that's it for now, Vern.
Yep, no problem. Move on to the 73, and thanks for picking me up.
Yep, okay, we'll pick you up at the end there if you want. Wait, VA3NC, VE3LBI, we're doing a 7-3.
VA3LBI, VA3NCA, thanks, Larry, as always, for doing it. It's a nice way to spend a Friday night, of course, after a long week. And I agree as well. Something I always encourage people when I see them on tests as well, or leading up to tests, is to learn the material, because it introduces you to it, so that if you decide that's an area of the hobby you want to pursue, then you know that it exists, and you may not remember it from when you studied it, but you'll know that it's there. You'll know where to start looking to focus on it. I also recommend that they find a local club as well as internet clubs. I find they're both important. An internet club is great because you get worldwide, literally, exposure. If somebody's doing it in ham radio, they're on the internet clubs that are out there. But what they lack is the local presence, knowing a bunch of people locally and what's going on in the local, like the events that are going on. It's a source for getting equipment, used equipment, or even borrowing it, and guidance on that equipment. Anything about the local lay of the land, even just getting to know the locals, is super important. You don't get that from just showing up on a Discord, the national Discord, that is. So yeah, those are the two pieces of advice I try and put to people when they approach me for this. Is make sure that you get a local club for the local context and Elmering, and also to make sure that you at least get an exposure to all the material and not just memorize stuff. Anyways, thanks for doing it, and I'll catch you guys down at the next net, VA3NCA, back to net control.
Okay, thanks so much, Wade. All right, let's bring in Noel next. VE3 KDT, unless he's tied up in the Indians have tied up the cowboy there. Let's see if he's around. Noel, you with us?
VGKT, yeah, I am still here. I got one sleeping in my arms, so I'm not in too loud. I hope you can hear me. But yeah, thanks for doing that. And I didn't really have anything else. So great.
Okay, very good. All the best there, and have a great weekend, though. All right, now you're up. VA3BT, VE3LBI. Come on in, 730.
Yeah, still listening along here, Larry. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for being there. 7-3, everybody, and have a good evening. VA3BT.
Up next, Chris, VA3WPG, VE3LBI. Come on in, Chris. We're doing a 7-3.
VA3WPG, quite the opposite of KDT there. As soon as we're finished our 73 round, things are going to get quite loud around here because I'm going to be turning up some 80s rock and roll. So other than that, everybody have a good night, 73, and we'll catch you on the next one, VA3WPG.
Thanks, Chris. VE3UK, VE3LBI. Bill, we're doing a 7-3. Come on in.
Oh man, I almost caught me napping there. Anyway, just a couple of quick comments. I agree with what some people said about the testing, that maybe things are getting a bit too easy. So I'm sort of with Dave on that. I think people between AI and what's going on, people are getting dumbed down, but that's just my personal opinion. Just on a side note, Loretta Swit from MASH passed away today, so fond memories of that show. And just a quick comment about Windows 11. I just was reading an article today about the latest update for 23H2 causing boot failure issues. So going back, I think about 10, 11 years ago, Microsoft downsized, got rid of a lot of their testers and senior programmers, and it's been a real nightmare since then. I think that's one of the big problems. And as far as Windows, I go right back to version 2.04, so that's how far back I go. And if you were to come over and look at my computer, you would swear I was running Windows 7 because I've done a lot of modifications to it. Anyway, Larry, I better stop there. 7-3 to all, and I'll be around after for anybody that might want to chat. V3IUK, back to net control.
Okay, thanks very much, Bill. Mac, VA3IMW, VE3LBI. We're doing a 7-3.
Oh my goodness! Where does the time go? It's gone fast tonight. To start with, Edward brings up a really important point that I've considered many times. Parks on the Air gives us an unfair advantage because you post yourself and people come to find you. Field day, you're actually out there screaming in the wilderness and waiting for somebody to come and find you somehow. Obviously, WWFF, it's a similar situation. Find yourself a frequency, and you're just there until somebody spots you on the scope or whatever else goes on. Wonder what it would like be to do a parks on the air activation without any spotting or anything of that nature. Anyways, also gotta give Dave a big thumbs up. You gotta know a certain amount, because I want to be the guy if the plane goes down in the Amazon forest, and I'm able to pull a radio out of the cockpit. How much wire do I have to strip out of the carcass of the airplane in order to make an antenna that's going to help us get rescued? So, from the nuts and bolts of it, you're not always going to have Google at your disposal. Sometimes you're going to be in a situation where technology isn't there to bail you out. And I think those are the rudimentary things that you got to keep packed away in your cranium. I like that, Vanya. Very good. Keep that information in your cranium because you're going to need some of it someday. Other than that, it was really cool to have a couple of random guys pop into the Simplex net last night, one from Mississauga, one from Toronto, and certainly was looking forward to hearing from them tonight, but I'm sure we'll hear from them down the log. Thanks for doing this one, Larry. Much appreciated. VA3IMW. I'll be sticking around for a while.
Right, Max airplane description.
We got doubled up with somebody there. Go ahead again, please. With call time.
VA3WPG, I'm just saying I like Max airplane description with how much wire you got to pull out of the plane.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right, Vanya. VA3XLJ, VE3LBI. We're doing a 7-3 round, Vanya.
Yes, I gotta give you 7-3. I'm gonna stay on the frequency, and we're gonna go for a little drive around. So I don't know how far we're gonna go, but not too far. We're gonna go around and just kind of coast down home and see what we're gonna do tomorrow. So 7-3 guys, VA3XLJ.
Okay, very good, Vanya. All done there. Up next, VA3CP, VE3LBI. We're doing a 7-3 round, Dave.
Okay, Larry, very good. Just to add a little bit to what Mac and Edward said. Yeah, pretty hard to get. Well, you can get publicity for Victor Echo Fox stuff. There is a spotting page for it, and the spotting page is on the VEFF.ca website. But it's a case of publicity. There's not as many people looking for that as there are for POTA. And Edward, you did better than I did. I was out at Kerncliffe and running 5 watts, and I got 4. So, all right, 73 guys. Back to you, Larry, VA3CP.
VA3CDV, recheck.
Yep, go ahead, Cal.
I'll try to make it quick because I know you're on a 73 round. Just in terms of testing, just my thoughts on it. I took the basic, the advanced, and the Morse code, and I got all three. And two things can be true at the same time. One is there's no substitute for experience, and I don't pretend to be a good radio operator yet. I probably have 10 more years before I can even make that claim. But at the same time, writing the test takes a lot of talent. It's not just memorizing. You need to understand certain concepts. And I admit that I probably forgot a lot of them. But there's something to be said about people who write the test, study, and do well. Back to you.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, Cal. I think the other part of it is, you can write something. You got to put it into practice also, though. It's not just a matter of, I guess that Dave's getting to, talking about programming radios manually. Don't mind using the software. Forget that stuff. Program it manually first. Then use your software after to load up all the little things you want to do. You get to know the equipment. So there's a piece in there where you get the knowledge from reading something. People can read and write an exam and pass it 100%. They try to do a practical, they fail.
I agree 100% there, for sure. My method was I tried to research some questions because I wanted to understand the answers, and I think
If you understand the answers, you don't have to memorize because logically it'll make sense to you when you're asked the question. But then there's some questions that you just memorize because the answers are a number or something and it makes sense to memorize it. So a combination of both approaches worked for me, and glad I did it, but I have no illusions that I need to get more experience to be a better operator.
I don't think there is any such thing as a perfect operator. Everybody has their faults, and everybody is still learning too at the same time. So, all right, hang on there, Cal. VA3CJZ, VE3LBI. We are doing a 7-3 round.
All right, very good, Larry. Good net, and look forward to the next one. I don't have much else to add. I think we're going to watch. The wife and I are going to watch a movie there, and just relax. She's. I don't even know if we'll do that. She's got a wedding to go to tomorrow, so I think she's busy. But I'll keep myself busy. Okay, Larry, and everyone on the net, we'll talk to you again soon. Down the log, VA3CJZ.
Yep, okay, thanks very much, Jack. Ed, you're up, VE3VYT, VE3LBI. Just doing a 7-3 round, Ed.
Thanks, Larry. VE3LBI, VE3VYT, and everybody on the net. Thanks, Wade, for making that very nice summary that you did of the new RIC1 instructions for everyone. That's extremely helpful, I think. I got some people that I've been working on to become hands, and I'll be sending that on to them to see if I can motivate them to do it before the 15th of July. Otherwise, you have to start studying again. Yeah, Dave, as far as WISC goes, yeah, it's hard work getting people's attention there. I happened to like hints of some guys in Italy picking me up, and very soon after I posted, and I think I got about 4 or 5 out of those guys before it all died off, and from there on it was tough slogging. I do see that on the WISC website, they have a WISC.co/agenda, and the agenda tab appears to be the equivalent of what POTA does for posting yourself in advance, as to when and where you're going to be activating. But after that, it looks like they transitioned to using a website called cqgma.org as their version of POTA spots. However, it doesn't really tell anybody that this is WISC spots. So I'm not quite sure how it all works yet, but I'm trying to figure it out. So that's about it for me. I'll be looking into that this coming week. I hope everybody has a great weekend. 73, VE3VYT.
Okay, thanks so much, Ed. All right, Cal, VA3CDV. We're just doing a 7-3 round, Cal.
No problem. 7-3, thanks for doing it, Larry. And Bill, if you're around after the net, I just wanted to talk to you about whether your RADTEL implementation went well. I'm using that particular radio right now. 73, everybody.
Okay, last but not least, VA3CRF, Vernon. We're just doing a 7-3 round, sir.
Hey, Larry, thanks for circling back. Yeah, great net. I totally agree with Wade's comments in terms of the importance of joining the club, just for a whole bunch of reasons. I got my license through the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club, and they helped me get on HF with back then 5 words per minute on CW. And it's, again, just a great bunch of guys. And as Wade also mentioned, basically when I started, all of my equipment was used equipment. And that's a great source of used equipment, right? I mean, if there's folks in the club that are upgrading or they've just got tons of stuff like some of us do, and they're just happy that it goes to someone that's going to use it. So anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for doing it. Great evening to everybody. VA3CRF.
Thanks, Vernon, very much. And Chuck, VA3CJZ. You got to get Guy to get his license before they get the new test comes out. Got to keep bugging him to get his ticket.
VA3CJZ. Yeah, you know, he's interested, but I don't want to push him too hard, and you know, he's still pretty green. practical issues at the same time. So, anyways, yeah, you'll get there.
All right, very good. And I just want to note that what Vernon said too about clubs and stuff, but no, this group here we got is pretty good. We're always helping each other out in some way, whether it's antennas, talking about them, or radios, or whatever we get. I kind of really enjoy the group. So, with that, all right. Any last call check-ins for Friday night ZOE Ragchew? Last call.
Larry, VA3CRF, one more quick comment. When I first moved here, one of the first things I heard over the air was RPAD had gone up to rescue Garnett when his vehicle failed somewhere. And I was like, wow, that's going above and beyond. And that's just through radio. Back to you.
Yep, no, absolutely. And he did, yes. No, it's funny how the group gets together and I see Garnet quite often. Anyway, okay, I'm going to wrap it up, folks. We're getting quarter after here. All right. Thanks, everybody, again, for joining into the net tonight. Like I said, I just read down the call signs and names. You guys make the net with the conversation. And before I close, I'd like to thank Terry, VE3IMW, for the uses and a repeater. And with that, VE3LBI, I'm going to turn the repeater back to normal use. 7-3.
3VYT, VA3CP.
Bill, you out there?
You guys got to double up.
3VYT, VA3CP.
I'm here, so we let the other gentleman go first, I'll say.
All right, who is the other party? Go ahead.
No, you guys go ahead, unless Cal's in a hurry. I can wait.
No, go ahead.
All right, what's up, Dave?
Okay, just very quickly, were you on last week? I don't remember when I mentioned that to use Victor Echo Fox.ca.
I've heard of that thing. I'm not quite sure how useful it is, but no, I wasn't on last week.
Well, you should have a look because it's much easier to use than the .co. Go there and have a look. You will find that there's a list of parts, there's a list of spots, and you can submit your logs through there. So there's lots of information there.
So that was VEFF.co?
No, Victor Echo Fox.ca, Canada.
Okay, I'll give that a go. I did come across a map from Hamguy, some amateur type made though. That's also interesting. You might want to give it a go. You can try the website called ham-map.com. It comes up with a global list of websites.
All right. Well, anyway, if you're registered already, which you are on www.ff.co, just go to VEFF.ca and log in there with your same credentials. And there's lots to do there. Well, enough. So have a look at that. All right, that's all I got, Everett. And like I said, you did a lot better than I did. By the way, when you used M2K or Polo, and you put a Fox or an FF park in there, it will spot you on the spotting page.
Yeah, there was a button there. I think you got to push the self-spot though, don't you, to get it started?
Yes, you do, but that's exactly the same as if you're activating a photo park. You need to do the self-spot.
Yeah, and I've never actually tried submitting a log directly from there, but I did send it in to Len Morgan. So far he hasn't posted my log. I don't know what that means. Maybe he's just off camping again somewhere. But I'm looking forward to seeing it if it actually works.
Well, you can submit your FF logs right on the VFF.ca site. There's a way of you can submit your logs right there, and you if you're doing an FF and a POTA park together, you can just submit your POTA logs if you want, and you upload the POTA site, but you can submit your POTA log there, and they'll convert it for you.
That's an interesting switch. I've just been taking POTA sites, POTA logs, and using that MParks conversion software which takes about 30 seconds to convert just about anything and send it over to Len, and it works just fine. So yeah, I see I got the VA3IMW map up on the screen in one window, and I just found the submit your logs thing. Looks interesting. I'll give it a whirl. Thanks, Dave.
Okay. Yep. Well, it's worth it. All right. 73 Edward. Talk to you later. VA3CP. We'll turn it over to Bill.
All right, 73 V3CP V3DYT.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Edward. Cal, are you still there?
Yeah, go ahead, Bill. I was just wondering how your Ragchew installation went.
But the passwords that I got do not work on the archives, so I think I'll probably have to get a hold of Ragchew to get passwords for them.
Did you use the password I sent you on email?
Yeah, Roger. Does not work.
Oh, well, maybe it's timed out or something. Maybe they changed them. Anyway, when I have some people on the group, I just want to share a hack I learned today. It's quite useful. For those of you who use YouTube and are annoyed by the commercials that come on, the school teacher showed me something tonight. If you type in a YouTube address and you fire up the video, if you highlight the URL that you went to, after the word you, in other words, youtube.com, and then whatever the rest of it is, but after the word you, if you type in a dash, it will eliminate all the commercials, which I thought was cool.
Well, I just use an ad blocker that works for me, but yeah, that's interesting.
I'm glad your radio got installed, but it sounds like it did. Anyways, let me know if there's anything you need, Bill. That file that I sent you, that you sent me, has all the repeaters already in there. That will save you that. But talking back to what someone else said, I also agree that it's good to sort of find out how to program it yourself. And that's what I started doing when I first got the radio, because I put the cable in, which I'm glad I did, because now I kind of have an idea how to do that. But the file will save you that.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I've just been busy. I haven't even actually had much of a chance to work with it, but yeah, I read to the manual, so the programming doesn't look that hard. It's just with my eyesight, it would be easier for me to have things set up on a large screen. So I'll get a hold of Ragchew tomorrow. I'm in no hurry, but I appreciate your help there. And the video I sent you last night, that's actually was quite interesting, where people think they actually have a problem with the radio, but it's just improper procedure. So it's all about getting to know your radio.
Yeah, I have plans to watch the video, Bill. I seen that you sent it. I just haven't had a chance to find it up yet, but I will. So anyways, yeah, I'm using the Ragchew now. How's my audio?
Your audio is excellent.
Okay, good to hear. This is going to be my final. I'm just going to do a few things. So nice hearing everybody on the net tonight. 73 you, Bill, and everybody else is listening. And I'll probably be on a little bit.
Yeah, take care, Cal. Thanks a lot. And I will be listening for a while here. VA3CDV, V3IUK monitoring.
That brings the stream to a close. 7-3s, one and all. That's how we say goodbye.